After Hamas terrorists infiltrated Israel, butchered its citizens, and took hundreds as hostages, videos captured the horror and the celebration in Gaza. What was pointed out by the experts was the flashing of American weapons, especially what they said were M14 assault rifles. A prominent American politician has questioned if US-made guns were used by the Palestinian terrorists and sought a probe to find out if the source of the weapons was Afghanistan or, for that matter, Ukraine. India too has been reporting the use of US-made arms and ammunition by terrorists in Kashmir. What is paradoxical is that both India and Israel are allies of the United States. But how are weapons manufactured in the US finding their way into the hands of terrorist organizations like the Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba in Pakistan and Hamas in the Palestinian territory? War is a big business, but it is also a bloody business, resulting in thousands of deaths across the world. The largest manufacturer and exporter of arms and defense equipment, the United States, is at the center of that big business. Arms exported by the US increased by 14% between 2013 to 2017 and 2018 to 22. And it accounted for 40% of the global arms export in 2018-22 period, according to a report by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute in March 2023. It has been supplying weapons to Ukraine amid the country's war with Russia. The US has throughout its history been providing weapons to various theaters of war. The US war in Afghanistan against the Taliban after the 9/11 attacks was another such military theater where it poured in arms and defense equipment worth billions of dollars. But Afghanistan has never been an easy territory for any foreign force. Like the Soviet-Russia assault in 1988, the US-led NATO campaign too became untenable. In February 2020, then US President Donald Trump signed a peace deal with the Taliban, and that included a deadline of May 2021 by when all foreign troops would be withdrawn from Afghanistan. President Joe Biden, Trump's successor, also committed to the withdrawal of troops but extended the deadline to August 31st. The withdrawal of foreign troops was chaotic, to say the least. The Taliban militia had taken control of most parts of Afghanistan by then, and in the rush to leave the war-battered country, US troops left behind weapons and defense equipment of over $7 billion. Those later found their way into the hands of the Taliban. Now, a report says US-funded equipment valued at $7.12 billion was in the inventory of the former Afghan government when it collapsed, much of which has since been seized by the Taliban. This is the US Department of Defense, which said in its report in August 2022. The trove included military aircrafts, ground vehicles, weapons, and other military equipment. Among the military equipment were Black Hawks and other helicopters, US Humvees, and Scan Eagle military drones. Then there were sophisticated weapons like M16 assault rifles and M4 carbines, which had landed with anti-India and anti-Israel forces. These are what is now being turned against the two countries. So the question is, are American weapons in Kashmir also? During last year's Raisina dialogue, then Army Chief General M.M. Narawane said that India was seeing a rise in the number of weapons and other military equipment from Afghanistan being seized in Kashmir. Pakistan-backed terrorists operating in the Kashmir Valley were found to be using steel core bullets and night vision glasses left behind by the US-led NATO troops in Afghanistan. American armor-piercing bullets have been used in encounters with Indian security forces, and they breached the bulletproof jackets of our soldiers. In January, NBC News reported, quoting Indian officials, that Pakistan-backed terrorists were armed with M4s, M16s, and other US-made arms and ammunition. The officials told NBC News that it could be because of the US-funded weapons that fell into the hands of the Taliban after the rushed American exit from Afghanistan. It was in 2020 that US-made sophisticated M-series carbine rifles began surfacing in Kashmir. It came as a concern for the Indian security establishment, as these are more sophisticated than the AK series rifles, which have been the mainstay of the terrorists. Experts have hinted at Pakistan supplying the M4 carbines, which are used by its troops. There are thriving weapons bazaars in the Pakistan, including the one in Dara Adam Khel near Peshawar. And it isn't that Frankenstein's monster has spared Pakistan. In September this year, Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister said that US military equipment from firearms to night vision goggles had reached the Pakistani Taliban or Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan (TTP). Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has recently overrun several villages in Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and seized the army headquarters in Chitral. The seizure of US-made guns in Kashmir increased after what experts hint at the Taliban trading the guns on the black market, a charge the Islamic militia has denied. Most of the weapons recovered in Kashmir are from Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba, according to the NBC News report. Now the question is, did Hamas use American guns in Israel attack? Is it the same that happened in Israel as Hamas terrorists went on a bloodbath? It seems likely, and several experts are asking for a detailed investigation. US Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, in a post on X, suggested that Hamas may have used American weapons for its attack on Israel. The Republican member of the House of Representatives sought a thorough investigation into the source of the weapons used by Hamas. A British politician also tweeted a photo of Taliban militants with American guns and linked it to the Hamas attack on Israel. He said a high-ranking Israel Defense Forces or the IDF commander said that US weapons left in Afghanistan by the Biden administration were found in the hands of Palestinian groups active in the Gaza Strip. Now, the Israel Defense Forces or the IDF on October 5th, just 2 days ahead of the Hamas attack that killed over 800 Israelis by the count right now, tweeted a photo of an M16 rifle they had recovered from 2 terrorists who attacked an Israeli security forces vehicle. The M16 is a sophisticated assault rifle manufactured in the US, which was supplied to Afghanistan. The worry has been persisting for months now. In May this year, Newsweek quoted an unnamed Israel Defense Forces or the IDF commander saying the country was concerned that the weapons supplied to Ukraine by the US and other Western countries could end up with Israel's enemies in the Middle East. The Israeli commander was particularly worried about Iran and told Newsweek, "We are very worried that some of these capabilities are going to fall to Hezbollah and Hamas's hands." The Israeli commander also claimed that some of the US-made small arms seized in Afghanistan have already been seen with Palestinian terrorist groups operating in the Gaza Strip. Several videos on social media platforms show people in the Gaza Strip celebrating the attack on Israel with guns, which experts identified as American weapons, including M16 and M4 rifles. The use of American weapons against US allies is a grave concern. It remains to be seen how the US will address this issue. The incidents also serve as a stark reminder of the widespread and unpredictable consequences of arms proliferation. Do tell us what you think about this video in the comment section, and for more news updates, subscribe to India Today.